Hey everyone, welcome back to a What's in My Bag episode. Today's gonna be a little different because I'm heading into the mountains tomorrow and I've packed my bag already, and I'm gonna show you the difference from my packing in an Explorer 25 and to how that same load will look in an Explorer 30. So let's get started with the E25 right here. You can see it's pretty well rounded, which means that it's nice and packed. I'm gonna start with the front panel pocket and just pull everything out that I have in here. So I've got a shell. Now keep in mind I wear a Japanese large, which is probably a medium for most Western worlds. So here's my shell. It is very lightweight, does compact down quite a bit. Then I've also got a lightweight down jacket. Again, nice and compressible. In the front two TPU pockets, I have a bunch of snacks. Most of these are salt tablets, yogurt, granola bar, that type of thing. Got some more snack bars. And for the inside front panel pocket, that's all we have in there. I don't have anything in this pocket. Now, if we go to the upper compartment, I have a little Gopro case. So if I open that up, there's a bunch of GoPro accessories in here, but then I'll have two GoPros. Now I'm using one right there, so I can't show you that one, but basically this is what it's gonna look like. It has a kind of dead cat type audio filter on it. It makes it quite a bit puffier, but the audio is quite good with it on. So two GoPros, some backup batteries, some mount accessories and stuff like that. And I'll just keep that in the case for now, and you know, when I'm on the move, I'll use the GoPros to shoot candidly. Now, next in this small stuff sack, I basically just have my change of clothes, another shirt, another undershirt, and then socks and underwear. So that's just backup for the next day. Of course, I'll have a layer of clothing on when I head up, but if I do get sweaty and I need to change, I've got this stuff for when I need it. And then next in the top compartment, right now, the only other thing I have is a headlamp. I usually only use the headlamp in the very early morning, walking around the hut, or when I first leave the hut and I'm out walking in the dark in anticipation for sunrise. Front panels down, tops down, and next we will just move to the rear panel access. Now, inside the laptop sleeve, I've got a travel pouch stored. If you can see, I've got some instant coffee, some earplugs, I've got some lip balm and a toothbrush. On the other side, I have a mask that's in another plastic package, but also I do have an Allen key in here and a zip tie, just in case. So inside the actual small mirrorless core unit, I have my Sony A7. I'm gonna bring a 70-200, and I'm also gonna bring my DJI Mavic Mini and remote controls. The actual controller for the drone is placed in the document pocket right now, so I do have access to it from the rear access. So in the side panel pouches, I'm gonna have both a 1,000 milliliter bottle of water, which will go in right here. And then I'll secure that correctly, of course. And then in the opposite side, I will use that for my tripod. And this is my tripod. It's a little mini travel tripod, nice and lightweight. And that will secure down. Now that it's all threaded through and secured down properly, it'll be a nice firm fit, just like this. Just quickly, one other thing that I did not mention is that underneath I have my rain cover, just in case it rains. The rainy season has just ended here because the contrast in weather jumps so quickly. Next week has a whole bunch of lightning storms forecasted. It seems every night, including tomorrow night, there is a chance of showers with lightning. So we'll have to see how that goes. As you saw when it was all packed up, the bag was quite full. There's not much more I can get in there. So with that said, let's try the same load in the Explorer 30, and who knows, maybe I'll bring the Explorer 30 instead if I think it's going to be a better overall carry. All right, so I've taken the liberty of packing my core unit. I've switched out the small mirrorless core unit, and I'm going to use the medium mirrorless core unit in this case. So as you can see here, primary difference, other than a little bit of divider setup change, is that now I have my drone controller inside the core unit. I do have a little extra space here. I do have a cable there that I use for my drones, but if I had some batteries or something that I wanted to put in there, that would be a good fit too. So I'll just continue packing it, and then we'll just see how much room is left over later. So once again, I'm gonna throw my little travel pouch inside the laptop sleeve. For now, I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna move over to the front panel pocket. Now, I've said this in past videos, but always pack in the order you think you're gonna use things. So for instance, my down jacket, probably gonna get a very small amount of use out of this, and it will be one of the last things I'm actually gonna access. Now before I put my shell in, I'm just gonna stuff these two pockets full of food. Now you might not remember from when I had this packed in the E25, but because the E25 is a narrower pack, now with the E30, there's a lot more room in these pockets. Potentially I can pack more food, but it's also just easier to access the food because it's not as tight. Now I'll take my shell, zip it up, and let's go to the top compartment. I'm gonna take my headlamp. I'm gonna throw it into this back pocket just to keep it out of the way. Take my clothes because I won't use those probably until I'm at the hut. Put the GoPro in there, and that's basically it. Now, one thing I did forget was the rain cover. Again, we'll just tuck the rain cover below the core unit, close it back up. So I've also put the water in the same locations as I would have with the Explorer 25 and the same with my travel tripod. The extra space that's left over is going to be found in the document pocket, which I have not used at all. Previously the remote was there, so you do have an option for all this space. Maybe if I use this bag, I would throw a book in there. Up in the top pocket, we'll just show you that there is definitely a bit of extra room here. It's not packed as tight. It's going to be really hard to describe how much more room is in this pocket, but if I had to guess, I would say you could fit another one of these in here, and that would pretty much fill it up. Now the other thing is there's a little more space in the front panel pocket too, but that's just going to be because the pocket's actually wider. The depth is going to be the same as the Explorer 25. I think the last thing I have to mention here is that my phone will be in this pocket, and I'll also have this pocket for extra space. Potentially, if I bring a smaller water bottle, I'll put that in here and then just refill from here. And that way I don't ever have to really take my bag off to access water. So I hope that gives you some perspective on the size difference. In my opinion, when it comes down to the actual packing, you know, that 5 liters is very accurate. It's gonna allow you to carry just a little bit more. It's not only in the camera unit though, it's somewhat spread out through the entire bag. It might not be a good analogy, but maybe you could look at it as a large size t-shirt. You know, maybe that shirt fits you just a little too good, and with an extra large t-shirt, you're just gonna have a little more freedom and room to move around in that shirt. And maybe, you know, sometimes the large size t-shirt's a little bit too tight, a little too revealing, so maybe you would be happier with that extra large size. I just mean that in the sense that sometimes definitely better to have more size. It leaves you with a lot more flexibility with packing and planning. You know, sometimes a bag that's too small can literally limit the adventures you get up to. With that said, bag for bag, I'm gonna go with the Explorer 25 because I do enjoy the compactness of it, and hopefully when I get back from my trip, I'll have another fields trip video to follow up on this one, and you can just see how I use that bag through my adventure. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.